You have stood the vigil. You have manned the watchtower and learned the laws of the fortress. From that height, you saw the world for what it was, a landscape populated by ghosts and predators, a treacherous terrain where every shadow held a potential threat. The fortress kept you safe. The vigilance kept you sane. But a man who spends his entire life staring at the horizon for enemies will never see the flower blooming at his own feet. The Sentinel's duty is over. The final stage of this alchemy is not to build higher walls, but to find the courage to walk out of the gate. This is the lesson on returning to the world. Do not mistake this for a return to naivety. The fool who forgets the fire is doomed to be burned again. The master, however, does not forget. He integrates. The scar is no longer an alarm that shrieks at every unfamiliar sound. It is a compass. It does not scream warnings. It whispers directions. It allows you to navigate the world, not just defend against it. The goal was never to live in a state of perpetual siege. It was to learn the landscape so well that you could finally walk through it in peace. The first principle of this new life is to trade vigilance for discernment. Vigilance is the state of a soldier, scanning every shadow for a threat. It is exhausting. It is unsustainable. Discernment is the state of a master. It is the quiet, calm ability to distinguish between a monster and a mere mortal, between malice and a mistake. The Sentinel sees a person arrive 5 minutes late and identifies a predator testing his boundaries. The master sees the same tardiness and understands it could be traffic, carelessness, or 100 other mundane sins that have nothing to do with him. Discernment is the art of not making every interaction a referendum on your past trauma. It is the grace you afford the world, not because the world deserves it, but because your own peace requires it. The second principle is the recalibration of trust. The fortress taught you that trust is a liability, a weakness to be eradicated. That is the doctrine of a prisoner. The truth is that trust is a currency. In the aftermath of your war, you were spiritually bankrupt, and it was wise to lock your vaults. But you cannot build a new life with an empty treasury. The return to the world requires you to become a shrewd investor. You do not grant trust in a single, reckless lump sum as you once did. You invest it in small, calculated shares. You offer a minor confidence and observe how it is handled. You share a small vulnerability and watch for either empathy or exploitation. You build a portfolio of human connection slowly, piece by piece, diversifying your emotional assets. Some of these small investments will fail. That is the nature of the market. But the master does not see a failed investment as a catastrophe. He sees it as data. He learns, he divests, and he moves on. He knows that the potential return on a single, genuine human connection is worth the risk of a dozen minor losses. Finally, you must learn the strength of the Permeable Wall. The Sentinel believes strength is an unbreachable fortress. The Master knows that nothing that cannot be entered can ever truly be lived in. True strength is not the ability to keep everyone out. It is the wisdom to know who to let in. It is the courage to be vulnerable again, but this time not as a victim offering a sacrifice, but as a sovereign offering a gift. It is the understanding that a heart that is permanently guarded is no different from a heart that is permanently broken. Both are useless. The ultimate irony is that the very thing that broke you is what has given you this profound and unshakable peace. The monsters you faced have given you the gift of sight. You are not defined by the wound they gave you, but you have been refined by it. You no longer walk through the world hoping for the best. You walk through it knowing, with absolute certainty, that you could survive the worst. And that knowledge is the source of all true courage. So leave the watchtower, descend into the valley. The world is still filled with predators, yes, but it is also filled with sunrises, with quiet conversations, with the taste of good wine, and with the possibility of a love that does not require you to sacrifice your soul for its survival. Your scar is not a map of your past pain. It is the blueprint for your future peace. You have earned this. Do not waste another moment of it standing guard over a war that is already over. The vigil has ended. Your life begins. Lesson over.